Have you ever felt like life is overflowing? Too many things to do, too many objects scattered around, too many thoughts stealing your peace. You're not alone. We live in a world that teaches us that more is always the better choice. More possessions, more accessories, more commitments, more deadlines. But deep down, it's not more that you want. It's what's right. It's what's essential. If you're here right now, maybe you feel it's time to simplify, and Japanese minimalism might be your next step. Unlike many other approaches to simplifying, it's not full of rules. It's simply a way of living that makes sense. Today, I'll show you 7 principles that can transform how you organize your home, your day, and even how you feel. Japanese minimalism isn't about emptying your home or living with nothing. It's not about restriction. In fact, the focus is on creating space in your home, in your time, and most importantly, in your mind. With that in mind, let me introduce you to the first principle. And honestly, it's revolutionary. The first principle is Ma. In simple terms, it's the space between things. And it might sound strange to hear this, but in Japanese minimalism, empty space is just as important as what's filling the room, because emptiness isn't just emptiness. It's breathing room. It's a pause. It gives you permission to relax. Imagine a home where every corner is crammed with things. Everywhere you look, there's no place for your eyes or your mind to rest. It feels overwhelming, right? Now imagine the opposite. Clean, open spaces where every item has a purpose, and more importantly, there's room for you to breathe. That's Ma. What's amazing about this concept is that it doesn't require you to spend a dime. It starts with a single question you can ask yourself right now. Do I need to fill every inch of my home with something? Am I putting more here than I actually need? Sometimes it's not a new piece of furniture or a decoration on the shelf that's missing. It's the space you need to leave behind. Try this. Take a look at a part of your home today. Maybe it's that shelf packed with objects, or that corner of the living room piled with stuff. Now remove what doesn't need to be there. You can even just set it aside somewhere else to see how it feels. Pay attention to how you feel as the emptiness begins to appear. Because emptiness isn't just an absence, it's calm. And you deserve that breath of fresh air. After creating space with Ma, an inevitable question arises. What is truly worth keeping? That's where the next principle comes in Kanso. It's about simplicity. But not just any simplicity. It's the kind that carries beauty with it. Nothing complicated, just the essentials. How often do we fill our homes and lives with things that don't even make sense? Have you noticed how we're constantly chasing something new, something modern, even if we don't need it? This endless pursuit disrupts the balance of what truly matters. Because real simplicity has a natural charm. Kanso teaches us to see this. Beauty lies in things that work, in things that serve a purpose. Life becomes so much easier when everything around you has meaning. A couch where you can truly relax, not just a decoration taking up space. A beautiful plate on the table that's also functional and durable. A wardrobe with just a few pieces you love, instead of a sea of clothes you never wear. Kanso invites you to reflect. What's in your life because it's useful and special? And what's there just because you've never stopped to question it? Here's a practical challenge. Pick a corner of your home. It could be a drawer, a cabinet, or even a space where you spend a lot of time. Look at every item there and ask yourself, do I really use this? Does this need to be here? Is this beautiful and simple? Or is it just taking up space? Keep what makes sense. And see how simplicity transforms the space and even your mood. And here's the most beautiful thing about Kanso. It's not just about physical organization. It also helps you maintain a clearer mind. Because when you live surrounded by only the essentials, you create room to focus on what truly matters. Beauty and simplicity, walking hand in hand. Now that you understand the power of empty space and elegant simplicity, Let me ask you something. We've all wondered at some point, how can we find more calm? Real calm, you know? The kind that doesn't come from a vacation or a weekend off, but the kind that lives in your everyday life, in your home, and in your routine. This is the principle of seijaku, tranquility. In Japanese minimalism, tranquility isn't a matter of luck or escape. It's something you build. And honestly, we've lost that habit, haven't we? We surround ourselves with so much movement, so many distractions, that we forget what it feels like to exist in silence. We forget how to take 5 minutes out of our day to disconnect. Seijaku invites us back to that, to create moments and spaces that bring calm instead of chaos. Have you ever noticed how the environment around you directly affects how you feel? A cluttered room can make you feel restless. A bedroom with soft colors and minimal distractions helps you relax. Seijaku teaches us that tranquility can and should be cultivated in our spaces, in our choices, and in how we navigate our day. I'm not saying you need to turn your home into a Zen temple unless you want to, of course. I'm talking about small adjustments. Turning off the constant hum of the TV when you're not really watching. Silencing your phone notifications when you need peace. Creating a little corner with some nature, a plant, a flower, and simply sitting there for a few minutes. Breathing. That's it. Silence and stillness are powerful, but for them to work, you need to open the door and let them in. And tranquility isn't just about silence. It's also about learning not to sabotage yourself with too many things, too many expectations, too much mental noise. Because above all, Seijaku begins within, and once that calm takes root in your life, it creates space for new forms of beauty to truly see what the busyness usually hides. After finding calm and embracing tranquility, it's time to talk about something that, for many, can be a bit challenging: the beauty of imperfection. This is the Japanese principle called fukinsei, the idea that not everything needs to be perfectly aligned, proportional, or predictable. In fact, it's precisely in asymmetry that charm and meaning are often found. Nature is full of imperfections. No two leaves are the same. A tree's flowers don't follow exact patterns. Yet when we look at a natural landscape, we feel peace, we feel beauty. Isn't it funny how we're so harsh on things and on ourselves when we chase a perfection that in the end doesn't really make much sense? Fukinsei is an invitation to relax, to stop being so hard on yourself, to accept that many times what doesn't match is exactly what gives character to your home, your routine, your life. It's that shelf with mismatched items that tell a story. It's the vase you love, even though it's not symmetrical. It's the table full of marks that came with time marks that carry memories and moments. All of that is beautiful, and it's okay if it doesn't look like the pages of a design magazine. Practicing fukinsei starts with a shift in perspective. The next time you judge something in your home or your life as imperfect, pause and think, is this really a problem, or does it add personality? Isn't it this difference that makes it unique? And more than that, a little asymmetry reminds us that not everything in life needs to be controlled. Apply this not only to what you observe, but also to what you feel. There will always be reasons to criticize what's out of place, but instead, learn to admire the unexpected, the different, the unconventional. It's amazing how, by embracing asymmetry, you can discover a new kind of harmony. Speaking of harmony, let's move on to the next principle, a powerful lesson about sobriety and subtlety. After understanding the beauty of asymmetry with fukinsei, let's talk about an elegance that is subtle, almost invisible. This is the principle of shibumi. It's about finding beauty in simplicity and discretion. Nothing flashy, nothing that demands attention. It's that elegance you feel, that you notice, but that doesn't need to be obvious. In life, we are often drawn to what's the brightest, the most expensive, the most visible. But shibumi teaches us that true beauty lies in the details, in quality and functionality. It's the comfortable sheets that embrace you, the book you love to reread, the corner of your home that brings you peace. It doesn't need to be extravagant. It doesn't need to stand out. It just needs to make sense for you. When you start valuing these small things, you'll notice that life feels richer because you're surrounded by items and moments with meaning rather than just things that sparkle. The subtlety of Shibumi teaches you to cherish what truly matters. It's an elegance that doesn't impose itself, but is always present. By embracing this understated elegance, you also begin to accept the transience of things. Because, like everything in life, these moments and objects are always changing. After understanding the understated elegance of Shibumi, let's talk about something fundamental to Japanese minimalism: the acceptance of imperfection and transience. These are the principles of wabi and sabi. They teach us to see beauty in things that are imperfect, incomplete, and to embrace the reality that everything is constantly changing. Wabi is about rustic simplicity. It's the beauty found in simple, natural things that aren't perfect. It's a handmade ceramic vase with its small imperfections. It's weathered wood that tells a story. Wabi reminds us that beauty doesn't lie in perfection, but in authenticity. Sabi, on the other hand, is about the passage of time. It's the beauty that comes with age and the natural wear of things. It's that cherished object you've had for years, bearing the marks of time. A chipped cup, a faded piece of clothing you love. Sabi teaches us to accept and appreciate the impermanence of everything around us. In practice, this means you don't need to get rid of something just because it's no longer new or flawless. On the contrary, you can find beauty and value in these imperfections. They tell stories, hold memories, and remind us that life is all about change. And that is beautiful. I want to invite you to do something simple. Look around you and choose an object that shows signs of time. It could be an old piece of furniture, an article of clothing, or a book. Think about the stories that object carries. Remember how it came into your life, the moments it has witnessed. Notice how those imperfections make it unique and special. By embracing wabi and sabi, you also embrace yourself, because just like these objects, we too change, age, and carry our own marks, and that is part of our beauty. And speaking of beauty, let's explore the final principle, one that is all about finding mystery and depth in simple things. Yugen. This last principle is one of the most profound and inspiring. Yugen is about the beauty of mystery, of what is incomprehensible and indescribable. It's that feeling of something greater, something you sense deeply but cannot fully put into words. It's the depth that exists in the simple and subtle. Yugen invites us to appreciate moments and things that cannot be entirely understood, but touch us in profound ways. It's like gazing at a full moon on a clear night and feeling an indescribable connection. It's like hearing a song that moves you, even if you don't understand all the lyrics. It's that sense of wonder and reverence in the face of the world's beauty. In everyday life, Yugen can be found in small moments of contemplation. It could be the soft light of the sun streaming through a window, the sound of rain tapping on the roof, or the scent of fresh coffee in the morning. These are the moments that remind us life is full of beauty and mystery, even in the simplest things. I invite you to experience this today. Take a moment to simply observe something around you. It could be nature, a piece of art, or even a moment of silence. Allow yourself to feel the depth and mystery of that moment. Don't try to understand or explain it, just feel it. As you do, you'll realize that life is full of Yugen, those inexplicable moments that touch us deeply and remind us of the beauty and mystery present in everything around us. Now that you've learned about the 7 principles of Japanese minimalism and reflected on how to apply them to your life, I want to invite you to take the first step. Leave a comment below and share. Which of the 7 principles resonated with you the most? Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more content about Japanese minimalism and well-being.